Hey, it's me, and welcome to Trump Mafia. Now, I'm hoping to make a long ass video because I want to talk about the media, and also I want to talk about how Hillary has no chance to win this election. And it's not wishful thinking, it's just not possible. I'm sorry, it's just not possible. But first, I want to talk about this video I have, which got 250,000 views, which for this channel is a big deal. But I'm happy that video got a lot of views because it's a troll video. And many of my videos have some trolling in it, built-in trolling. And it takes the old-timers and the veterans of Trump Mafia to recognize it. But in that video, you have Ben Carson laughing when he sees the clip of the Hillary seizure, where she's headbanging, or the bobblehead, as we call it. Now, it's funny because I made it in that way to troll Hillary supporters, or better said, those paid people from Breaking the Barriers 2016 that are people just paid to post on social media with a lot of sock puppets. So they come on the comment boards and they're like, oh, she's just goofing around, she's just having fun, it's not a seizure. But then at the same time they express outrage. How dare Dr. Ben Carson laugh at her condition? Huh? But I thought you said she's just having fun. So what condition? In fact, they should applaud that Dr. Ben Carson is laughing also. But no. So it's so easy to fool and trick these Hillary supporters, if you want to really call them that, because these people are paid to go online and post Hillary talking points. And it's artificial, just like everything else about the Clintons. It's either artificial or it's criminal. There's no in between with these people. Now, let me talk first about the media. Now, we all know they're incredibly biased, but it's especially grave now because the Clinton Foundation owns all of these media people and all these news agencies. Even polling companies have donated to the Clinton Foundation. And just like the Wall Street banks or other countries, they all get favors in return. Now, let's talk about history a little bit. When the Clintons were in the White House in the 90s, they blackballed a lot of reporters and news agencies because they reported too much on the scandals and they were too harsh or whatnot. So reporters are like dogs. They learn quickly. So from that moment onwards, they kind of gave the Clintons a free pass. They just didn't want to get in trouble because a lot of people got fired because the Clintons, they bribed the heads or the bosses, and then reporters that actually do their job end up getting fired. Now, in the Bush years, Bush started out with 89 approval rating because of 9/11 and his reaction. And that scared liberals so much that the liberal media took it on itself to, for days and days, in fact 6 years, every single day, tearing down George W. Bush. And they succeeded in paving the way for Obama, whom they praised like he was some kind of a god, never vetting him. And only a few people in the media, such as Sean Hannity and some others, actually vetted this guy. Now, the mainstream media, they would not. And so you get 2 terms of Obama, where the liberal media is also in a very safe space. But that means for decades now, liberals have been on a rampage in the media, and they almost forgot what the truth is, or what reality is. They've become so used to covering lies as if it's reality, and distortions as if it's the truth. And so they almost don't know how to report the truth, and the truth offends them. It's almost like they cannot anymore report true facts. They really have to be fed a bunch of lies, because then they know how to take the ball and run with it. And it's very sad, but it's not surprising. Now, the liberal media is liberal for a reason, and a lot of liberals are not people that want a normal job. They prefer to have a government job, or they want to be in the media, where they feel they can advance the liberal cause. So you have a lot of pajama boys and nerds, and they're a sad bunch of people. And I think the remainder, they go on comedy shows. Stephen Colbert and Seth Meyers and that Oliver, and it just seems like late night now is filled with geeks and freaks and pajama boys. I mean, that's the liberal left. What a freak show. So anyway, they no longer understand reality and fact. So Donald Trump comes, and he's not soft like Mitt Romney and John McCain. Oh, we cannot talk about this, we cannot talk about that. He's like in your face, and they cannot handle it. But more than that, he's not taking money from the donors. So their bosses also don't want Trump to be successful. So you have a synergy of hatred. Now, for example, the New York Times, it's owned by a Mexican billionaire. And I'm not even talking about an immigrant. I'm talking about a Mexican in Mexico. He owns the New York Times, which some people still read, apparently, which is surprising. But of course, the newspaper is all about hating on Trump, because that Mexican guy really hates Trump. It's that simple. And the same goes for the Washington Post. You have that tech billionaire from Amazon. He owns that so-called newspaper. So it's hatred against Trump all the time. And these people keep on losing money, but the liberal cause and the Trump hate is much more valuable to them. In the same way, CBS is losing so much money with Stephen Colbert, but the purpose was not ratings or money. The purpose was to have a liberal in there just before the election and to try and sway the election. But of course, nobody watches it. And CNN, I mean, they call it the Clinton News Network for a reason. I mean, these people are insane in how they defend Hillary Clinton. It's almost like that little goofy kid that you're playing hide and seek, and he stands in the corner, you can see him there, and he's really shutting his eyes. And he thinks that because he's really closing his eyes that he suddenly becomes invisible and we can't see where he is. I mean, that's not hide and seek. Well, CNN, they're like this. They don't understand that everybody can see right through them. And they become so childish in the way they attack Donald Trump. And it's almost like they're insane puppets. And that's not just a freak show, it's a horror show. And it's pathetic to watch. That's why now CNN is even falling behind MSNBC, if you can believe that. I mean, CNN and MSNBC, I mean, that's like the battle of the losers. And it really is pathetic. And these people in the media, they really believe that they can make the difference. Just like those Hollywood celebrities. Okay, I'm going to say something, and all my liberal friends are going to cover it, and I will sway this election. Just like Tom Brokaw in the graveyard saying Donald Trump is very evil, and he's standing in the graveyard. I mean, you know, it boggles the mind that even adult people can be so childish and unprofessional and truly pathetic. But there's some reason why Donald Trump also makes liberals feel very uneasy. Because liberals have the idea that nationalism is scary. Because every socialist will teach the other socialists that nationalism is an evil. And the reason basically is because when you give the power to the people, I mean true power to the people, it's the exact opposite of socialism, where they pretend that people will get the power, but then it turns out it always becomes big government and the people actually lose power. So nationalism is the opposite of socialism in that sense. And that scares liberals most of all. What they really want is a government that is like daddy and mommy and the great leader, something like that. And they saw that in Obama, but turns out he was a pussy. And a lazy-ass pussy at that. And so their Messiah wasn't quite the Messiah. But still, he's very popular, unbelievable. Now, coming back to the Clinton Foundation, they really bought the media. All of these news organizations, I mean, you name them, they're part of the Clinton Foundation. So they're complicit. Just like Obama allowed the State Department to be sold by the Clintons for cash, and he probably gets some benefits from it and some cash payout later on. So he's complicit also. So we're talking about a massive level of corruption, just like the Third World. And it's not surprising with a Kenyan Third World president that this can actually be allowed in the State Department or in the government. And I think there's a lot of corruption in the rest of the government as well after these years with Obama. Now, Hillary Clinton cannot win this election. And it's not just her health, it's that she has no message. Just those talking points like the rich have to pay more and whatnot. It doesn't help. Obama, he had a message and he lied about everything that even some of these Republican rhinos were salivating over this guy. And a lot of pundits were really amazed and wow. And his teleprompter speeches were so good. But, compare Obama to Hillary Clinton giving a speech. Of course, it's a massive difference. But Hillary Clinton is not only boring, she's annoying. And, of course, you have all the criminal activities. And, maybe liberals have some nostalgic feelings about Bill Clinton and an economy that was expanding. But that was only because, suddenly you had email and websites and people at home could start a business and, in general it made businesses much more efficient. And, of course, a lot of tech companies and all related companies popped up and some of them became very big. So, in general, the economy really grows. But it's all because of the internet and emailing and whatnot. But that doesn't mean when Hillary becomes president and Bill Clinton is there that suddenly it can happen again. No, it was a fluke. Bill Clinton got lucky because Al Gore invented the internet. So Al Gore should have been president in 2000. He really built the U.S. economy. No, I'm just kidding, of course. So Hillary Clinton doesn't have everything that you need to be a president. I mean, you don't have the crowds, you don't have the charisma, you don't have a message, and you don't have that feeling of change that people always need after a two-term president, especially where the economy is so bad. She just doesn't have anything to offer, and her base is split. And her whole campaign is about Donald Trump sucks. I mean, that's not a winning formula. And people know as soon as the Clintons get in, then the whole government will be sold to the highest bidders. The American people are not stupid. And many of the Democrats aren't actually stupid. And that's why they will vote for Trump.